The Chicago Bears signed free agent cornerback Shaun Wade. I think this guy's got some meat left on the bone, man. We're gonna take a look at the tape and we're gonna see what it is. Let's get it cracking. Oops, I might have been muted while I was doing that intro. I apologize. But welcome into another edition of Feed the Bears. I'm your guy Nomad, and I got some tape I want to look at, man. And looking at this guy Shaun, this is Shaun Wade, free agent cornerback, just signed to the Bears on a 1-year deal. Not sure about what the terms are. Not really caring, and regardless of that, all that we're gonna look at the tape and we're gonna see exactly what this guy can bring to the table. Here's my thoughts on this. Now, this is just pure speculation. It's just me thinking out loud. I got a feeling that new DB's coach Al Harris has his fingerprints on this because I know I can imagine, and I'm sure Dennis Allen has a piece in it too. But I can imagine what they're looking at with this young man, and I think, and I've been watching this guy since he was at Ohio State. Always thought he had a ton of upside. But what typically happens with young players when they come in the NFL, you might have been a world beater when you were in high school. You might have been a world beater in college. Had to be. You got to Ohio State, and he was a stud there. But when you come into the league and football becomes your job, and the wear and tear on your body and just everything that comes with it, when you have to be a professional, sometimes, and just sometimes, it takes some of these guys a few years to get adjusted and get acclimated to what's being asked of them. And so I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys this guy's going to be the next Darrell Revis or anything like that. That's far from the truth. I think, but I do think this guy's got a ton of upside and he got a lot of meat on the bone. And I would imagine that Al Harris is looking at tape and they probably asked him, hey, you see a guy out there that you really want to work with that you think has some upside, let us know and we'll look at the tape together and let's see if we can get him in the building. Got a feeling something like that is going on here, man. This guy does have a ton of upside, but let me not hold you guys any longer. We're gonna get to the tape real quick and just see, kind of take a look at what I'm talking about. Give me a minute to share my screen. Let me see here. All right. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me look into. Oh, I got to get this off the screen first. Let me get in here, open up the screen a little bit. We're gonna roll through a handful of plays, and we're gonna get up out of here. But let me open this up a little bit. All right. This is let me look at this. This is, I think, this is a 1st and 10, a minute in the 13:52 in the first quarter. So it's very beginning of the game. He's in as a starter. So looks like this is Shaun Wade right here. Looks like he's in off coverage now, but let's see if he approaches and see if the coverage changes. It's definitely an off coverage. I'm not sure if this is a man or a zone. They're doing a pretty good job of disguising it right here. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, it's definitely a man coverage. Now he's giving them plenty of cushion, and he's kind of sitting down on the route, waiting for it to break. Breaks on the route. See him right here? He's breaking on the route. Now watch him come up, and this will piss off any good coach anytime, anywhere. You want to piss off a good coach? Watch and see what he does here. Drove up and didn't break down and make the play. Let me show you that again. Wade here, off technique, ball is snap, eyes on the receiver. He's sitting and he's waiting to break on it. He's feeling like it's going to be something in front of him, and he's waiting to break on it. Breaks on it. Now here's the difference between an experienced cornerback and a guy that's a professional, inexperienced cornerback, and a guy that's a professional and really knows what his job is. You got to keep this guy in front of you. You have to make this play right here. You can't go in for the hit every time. Now, what I know about Shaun Wade is he's a very aggressive tackler and hitter. He was that when he was at Ohio State. He's still that now. He's going in for the ding. He's going in for the smash right here, and he overran the play. This is when you got to break down right about here and make sure you get this tackle. And he just ran right clean through it. Watch. Clean through it. Arm tackle. And little did you guys know, right after this play, we're going to see it at another angle in just a second. Right after this play, coach did exactly what a coach would do, snatch him and put him on the bench for a little bit. This is from another angle. Just overran the play. Simple stuff, man. But as a professional, you can't have that kind of thing going on. But let me get out of this and get to the next play. The next play is in the let me see in the second quarter. I don't know this first or second quarter. We'll see what this one is. Give me a second. Pull it up. Just rookie stuff. Just young. This is his third year in the league. He should be better than that at this point when he's at New England. This is some of his better film too, by the way. So let me get to the next one. Give me a second. This one is three minutes and 31 seconds. Let me get down here. Three what? Give me a second, guys. I told y'all I suck at this kind of thing. Let me make sure I got the right stuff up. This is 6:04. Hold on. All right, here's another play right here. I kind of forgot what this play was, so I'm gonna be remembering this as we do this live. I believe this is one of those plays where he's over on this side. And this is another bad play by him. Now I'm remembering what it is. This is another bad play by him. What you're about to see is him playing man coverage, but off technique. Off technique. He's off this guy, and he gives. I'll just show you guys. Let me just let it play out. So this is like a 2nd and 8, and the sticks are right up in here somewhere in this little vicinity right here. And you have to be aware. Now he's going to get off in a lazy back pedal, and you do the cardinal sin. Watch this right here. Right here. He's already kind of closing his cushion right here, and he's kind of sitting on the route. But watch and see what he does here. Boom. He sees the guys breaking down, stemming his route right here. And instead of the right technique, and you kind of have to jam on your right foot to be able to drive on this ball. Watch and see what he does here. He spins around. That is absolutely, as a cornerback, I can tell you with 110% accuracy, that is the worst, the most, that's like the cardinal sin as a cornerback. When you're in man coverage, that is the last thing you could ever do is get spun around. That's the last thing you can do. He's perfectly set up for a double move right now. Perfectly set up for a double move. You cannot get spun around here. So let's run that back one more time. It is as a pro, a third-year veteran, you got to be better than this. It ain't the end of the world, but I hate to see stuff like this. He's got to be better than this. Supposed to jam on the right foot. Bam, turn around. That sucks. That really sucks. We're gonna watch it from one more angle. You can't really see him here. He's gonna be over in this vicinity. Just gonna let it play out. You got to know where the sticks are. Right in front of the sticks. That sucks, man. But that's the bad Shaun way. That's the bad Shaun way. And this is you got to know that every one of these guys they're bringing in the building, they're bringing them in here for a reason. They think they can do something with them. They think they can work with them. And let's see what happens. Who knows, man? You can probably get something out of this guy. He's got some tools to him. Let's check him out here. Let me see. 317. Give me a second. Let's check this out. This is a very good play. Now, this is him playing his position as a run defender. You got to do it all as a cornerback. So in this alignment, you see the corner getting kind of a outside technique on the receiver. Same thing here. He's got to get his job is to manage outside, meaning the boundary, being the sidelines and in. So anything coming this way, anything coming his way, he's got to make sure he has outside containment. And so whatever happens, he's got to funnel everything to the pursuit from these linebackers, pursuing this way. He's just got to make sure it doesn't get outside of him. But let's see what happens here. Boom. I don't know if that was a blitz, but watch him play this. That's dog stuff right there. That's the kind of stuff that gets coaches excited right there. So he comes down on a cannon blitz, but he still maintains his position. Couldn't get outside of him. Bam. He knows that play cannot get outside of him, but it started to leak out and boom, look at him recover, get out here and make the play. That's good stuff right there. That's really good stuff right there. You gonna check it out from another angle. That's how you play it. That's a perfect way to play this. It's gonna be on this side. Boom, look at him. He's probably getting held right here, but he knows he has to get off this block. He knows he has to get off this block, and that guy cannot get outside of him at all. There's no in no world can this guy get outside of him. You need to break your neck to get to this play, and he does. Makes the play, and that was on a 3rd and 1. So that's a couple of plays for you guys. Got a couple more left. Let me see. This is in another quarter. Let me see. Give me a second, guys, and pull up another play. Let me see. 13-21. In a second, I think. Here we go. Here's the play. It's a good, another decent play by him. Let me remember what I saw here. Open the screen up a little bit. Let me see if I can locate him. All right, here he is down here. He's playing the right side now. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Looks like he's setting up, and it probably appears to be a zone for now. Let me see how he plays it. It's definitely a zone. You can tell by the leverage here. You see how they're playing like back to the sidelines and looking at the quarterback. That's definitely an indicator of a zone. So what he's probably doing here is making sure he's got the underneath. This is probably kind of turning into a cover 2, I believe, some kind of cloud coverage, but he's definitely playing, this cloud coverage right here. He needs to cover this little area right here in the cloud technique. Let's see how he plays. Watch him drive on the ball. Bam. Let's see that again. Keeping everything in front of him. Plays it perfectly. For a cornerback, it ain't all about how well you cover down the field. That's important too. But to know how a player plays in all facets of the game, you got to take care of your assignment here. This is your assignment. All flat stuff that's yours. This is your stuff. Anything in this area. Watch him see it, put his foot in the dirt, drive on the ball. Whack. Great play. That's exactly what you're looking for. Check it out from another angle. It doesn't show you this much here, but the drive on the ball and the hit. Wham. Wrap up tackle, perfectly done. All right, we're going to get out of this one. Give me a second. We got one more play to do. And this is 12:50 in the second quarter. Let me go find that. Give me a second. 12:50. Oh, that's the wrong. Man, I missed. Well, I think that one was it, man. I think that one was it. I thought I had another play, but I do not. Let me get out of here. Get this off the screen. And let me put his image back up. We're going to talk just a little bit before I get out of here. Here's my thoughts about the signing of Shaun Wade. I know that we just signed Myles Boykin, a receiver. Maybe I'll do a video on that tomorrow, late tonight. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to it, but I'll try to get to that and talk about him a little bit. But that's just to give you guys a little look-see into what we're putting on the team. 6'1", 195 pounds, 26 years old, really young, and he's got a ton of upside, in my opinion. I don't want to, I can already hear people out there saying, oh, no, man, he sucks. He's this, he's that. He ain't done nothing since he's been in the league. He was drafted by the Ravens and he didn't make it through. And he got traded, he got traded to New England. And that's where he played his best ball. That's probably a shock to him that he was drafted number 1 in the 5th round. When he was coming out, people really thought highly of Shaun Wade. I still think highly of him. But to go in the 5th round to the Baltimore Ravens and end up being a trade, somebody getting traded, that had to be a shock to his ego. And so to me, just by the little film that I've been able to look at so far since we've gotten him, you can see him playing a whole lot better ball. He's got kind of a chip on his shoulder when he's playing for New England, man. And you like that. And then he went from New England to the Chargers. And so he ended up on the practice squad there. I think he's definitely taken a shot to his ego. He did not turn out so far thus far in his career to be the player that he wanted to be. You want guys like that on your team that have a chip and feel like they have something to prove. Shaun Wade was a free agent. He could have went anywhere. Could have went anywhere, but he chose to come to Chicago. I'm just guessing. Before I get out of here, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm just guessing there's some back channel conversations being had between you know, Al Harris and Dennis Allen. There's some conversations being had, and you never know. Whenever there's a coaching change, whenever there's a regime change, things can change on a dime. Everything that we think about the cornerback room, as high as we are on that room, you don't know what the hell, Dennis Allen's thinking about. Maybe he's thinking differently. And you bring in a guy to challenge the guys that are there. I don't think this guy is going to end up being just this practice squad player. I think he's got meat on the bone, and they will give him an ample opportunity to push somebody for a job. I'm not saying he's going to end up being a starter, but I think they'll let him get reps, and he'll get a chance to prove whether or not he's cut to do this with the Chicago Bears. And so I just really like this signing. I liked him when he was in college. I had to come in here real quick and tell you guys what I thought about it, let you see a little bit of video so you have some sense of what the guy can bring to the table. I hope that helped you guys out, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Do not forget, please hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content and you appreciate us putting it out here for you guys, man. Hey, love you guys, appreciate you guys so much, and I got to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, I am